Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Riesa Pascal along with Mitch English. For those of you who love to curl up with a good book while on vacation or traveling for business, you'll definitely want to hear this. Bedside Reading is a service that places books at your bedside in various hotels and destinations across the country. With us now is the founder of Bedside Reading, Jane Ubell-Meyer. Jane, thank you so much for joining us. I'm an avid bookworm, so this is a really interesting concept for me. And it's also great that people are still reading books. Where did this idea for bedside reading come from?
So first of all, Riesa, thank you so much for having
Of
me. It's a
course.
pleasure. The idea actually started when I was about 22 years old, and I went on a trip with a boyfriend who I thought he was a boyfriend, and we went to the Caribbean. And when we got to the hotel, the this guy said to me, "You know, Jane, I'm just not into you." And I'm
Ooh,
sure we've all heard that before. And the
not
only
in the
thing that
Caribbean.
saved I know, terrible. The only thing that saved my vacation was the fact that my stepmother had given me this big book to read called it was Anne Rice's Try to Heaven. Huge book, it's like 400 or 500 pages, and it saved my vacation.
Wow.
And it always stuck in the back of my mind. Whenever you travel, you should have a book to take with you. So
Wow.
that was
Okay.
the germ of the concept for bedside reading.
Well, so unfortunate you had that experience, but lucky for everyone else because now we get to take advantage of this service. Tell us how this actually works.
So what happens is that we curate books. We find books from all walks of life, from the major publishers to independent authors, and we kind of are a matchmaker. And we have secured distribution at luxury hotels across the country, from the beautiful Marham Hotel, which is where we're at right now in Montauk, to the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills, and the
Nice.
Mandarin Oriental New York, and the Aquilina in Florida. And what happens is that we find books that we feel are appropriate for the guests that are going there. We have the authors or the publishers ship the books to the hotels, and then the hotels will place the books by the bedsides. Literally, I'm in the real estate business. So
That is
if you can
awesome.
imagine, you go into a room and by the bedside, you'll see one of our, look, I feel like Vanna White here. One of the, you'll see one or two great books.
Well, as someone who, as I mentioned, like avid bookworm my whole life, I love to read. Sometimes it's so hard to put the book down. If you're on
Yes.
vacation, you do have to still, have your vacation. So what happens if we don't get to finish the book? For a reader, that's like the worst thing ever. What happens?
Right. The worst thing in the world is to be able the worst thing in the world is to put down a book and then not get access to it
Exactly,
again. So
exactly.
we solve the problem by allowing guests to take the book home. So
Oh,
if you haven't finished your book, take the book with you. And that's what the books, why the books are there as well. We also have a digital program, which is it's called On the Download, and basically anybody can scan this QR code and they can access all. We have 15 books right now in our program, and in
nice.
fact, anybody that wants to access this can do that right now.
So they would access that from like a Kindle
Yes,
or an
it's
e-reader.
a they can read on their Kindle or their phone or their iPad or whatever device they normally read at. And the
All right.
books, once you access our books, they're there yours forever. We don't take them away,
Hmm.
so you can read wherever when you're on the go. We have audiobooks, we have
Fantastic.
ebooks, we have books for about meditation and classics and children's books. We have every genre available.
Well, where can we go to actually learn more about your program?
So I'm going to welcome all of your viewers actually to go to bedsidereading.com/BR gift.
Oh,
So
that's
we are
wonderful.
really happy to provide gifts for anybody. And it's the holiday, go and download a book. There'll be a link right on my homepage, which is bedsidereading.com. And we're really happy to have you, anybody, just, enjoy the July 4th weekend, pick up a book and start reading.
So kind of you. Thank you. Before you go, I have to ask, what's your favorite book?
Okay, ready?
Yes.
So I'm a nut for time travel romance, and this is one of my all-time favorite books. It's called The
Well, The
Prophecy by
Prophecy.
Kim Sakwa. She's written 3 or 4 in this series, and I'm in love with it. I can't put it down, and luckily for me, I know her well, so I get to call Kim and I say, "Give me access to your next book." So
Excellent. All right, I may have to get that one for my next bedside reading order. Thank
By
you
the
so
way,
much
it's
for joining us.
fantastic. You cannot put this book down.
Excellent. That's a good teaser there. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.